I'm joined now on the phone by Congressman Leonard Lance, Republican from New Jersey, who was a no vote on the health care bill. And Congressman, are you happy they pulled the bill? How are you feeling?
That was a decision by leadership, Chris. I think moving forward, we have to do a better job. I do think that the exchanges are in some difficulty, and I hope that we can work now together in a bipartisan capacity on this issue, because I do think major reform is necessary.
So, Congressman, though, I really am curious in your reaction. I mean, this is a wild 24 hours. Going back to the first TARP vote is the last time I saw something like this unfold on the House floor. When you were told the bill was pulled, a bill that you were going to vote no on, what did you feel? Did you feel relief? Were you happy? How did you feel?
I was not happy. I think that this is a time where we have to be reflective. And I think that was the tenor of Speaker Ryan's comments. And I'm willing to reach across the aisle to work with Democratic colleagues and also colleagues in the Senate in a bicameral basis, because I do think that we have to reform the system. And I'm concerned about the exchanges and about the fact that in rural America, as you know, Chris, in many places there's only one insurer in the market.
Right. So, Congressman, you had an interesting trajectory on this bill. You represent a district that went for Clinton. You were originally a yes on this bill. You've come on my show to talk about it and defend it. And then you were a no on the bill. Can you walk me through what changed your mind?
Certainly. In the Commerce Committee, I voted to make sure that there was no denial of coverage based upon pre-existing conditions, letting people stay on their parents' policies, no lifetime cap, and making sure that the expanded Medicaid was in place at least until 2020. I was not on Ways and Means that dealt with the tax portions, and I don't think the refundable tax credits, Chris, were generous enough, and I don't think we found the funding for that. And then the CBO score came out, and I read it, and I think that was very challenging and a sobering analysis by CBO.
You've also said that the pressure in your district, I mean, you got a lot of calls. You held town halls, to your great credit, unlike some of your colleagues. I mean, people showing up at their town halls, constituents telling you how this would affect them, how they felt about the bill. Did that have an effect?
I certainly tried to listen to all of my constituents. I, as you know, did the two town halls, one with 1,400 residents, another with 900. And we've had lots of telephone calls and emails on this topic, and most of them were against this bill. And certainly I tried to listen to constituents. You are accurate that Hillary Clinton carried the district by about 3,500 votes. I was pleased with my re-election margin last year, but Chris, in my judgment, this year, 2017, should be a year of governance, and let 2018 take care of itself.
Right. So speaking of 2018, you are now in a very select class of legislators, which are members of Congress who voted for the AHCA. There's not that many. It's just the Republican members of the Commerce Committee and Ways and Means. You own this bill as far as your opponent is concerned, I'm sure. Do you feel like you were hung out to dry by your leadership in the White House that made you vote for this in committee without a CBO score? You've now got a bill that was so unpopular it couldn't even get to a vote, and you voted for it.
Well, I voted for amendments in the Commerce Committee, as I have described. I did not vote for the amendments in the Ways and Means Committee, and the bill itself was crafted by the Budget Committee. The amendments in the Commerce Committee did as I had suggested, no denial of coverage, et cetera. But I do think that we should work together moving forward to try to improve the system, and I think the system needs improvement.
All right. Congressman Leonard Lance, thank you. Enjoy your weekend in your district.
Thank you. You as well, Chris. It's always a